Oh, good lord, this is about to be a fucking video, isn't it? Hello, everybody, welcome. Hello, everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brandy, and I'm the host here at Scared to Death for Fun. What do you have to say about that? You saw the title. Today, we are talking about Brandy's, and it's not even by Brandy, but she's the icon in the movie. We're talking about The Front Room. This is actually by the Eggers brothers. I literally just got home from a long day. This is the only time I have to record it. I know it's dark. I have 2 ring lights, a TV screen that's on a white screen. And this lamp, I can't move because it's like behind the sofa. It's just, this is the best we got. So, The Front Room is a psychological horror drama film. It stars Brandy and other people that I don't know and I really don't care about. The gist of The Front Room is this interracial couple. The husband, who is white because Brandy is the wife, the husband's father passes away, and the stepmother is willing to give this couple all of her money if they just allow her, the stepmother, to live with them. And that's literally, you kind of get that from the trailer. I don't think in the trailer you know that the old woman is the stepmother. That's what you get from the trailer. That's what I knew going in. And that's pretty much the whole movie. Because I feel not a lot happens in this film, I'm going to put a spoiler warning right here. Because I just need to talk about this film and how much I didn't feel during it and how weird it was. And also talk about the things I did feel. So spoiler warning, I'm just going to talk about the movie. I'm not going into non-spoilers and spoilers. It's just an odd movie. Basically, Brandy and her husband are broke. Broke. Brandy quits her job. They're struggling. So when this opportunity presents itself for them to bring this stepmother into their home, the husband is against it because he has fucking trauma and abuse from this woman. Not physical abuse, but like very much religious abuse, mental abuse from this woman. And he's like, I don't know. I don't really think we should. Like, I didn't like living with her. I don't want to do it. And Brandy is like, it's fine, we can do it, it's for the money. First of all, the shit that this man was telling Brandy about his stepmother, she shouldn't have allowed that shit. But I understand, we need money, it's whatever. Immediately, when this bitch gets in the house, she takes the front room, which is the fucking nursery, already causing tiffs. Then, when Brandy is unpacking this woman's bag, she finds a certificate of her certificate for the Confederacy. Baby. Brandy, I know that you are building, you're growing a child in your stomach, but you need to grow a spine up your back, and you need to kick that woman out of your house. So, it plays out oddly. For the first half of the movie, the stepmother and Brandy are kind of getting along, and it's almost like the husband doesn't want the stepmother there, and he's more unwilling to have her there than Brandy is. Then Brandy breaks the stepmother's trust, and the stepmother starts to then torment Brandy, and the stepmother starts to not be able to control her bowels, and that's just nasty and weird. And then she starts to act like Brandy's hitting her and causing her abuse. And then the husband, 3/4 of the way through the movie, I might add, the husband then finally starts to turn against Brandy slightly and side with his stepmother and is like, Brandy, are you doing this stuff to her? Like, what's going on? I have to take her to the hospital. Like, what are you doing? And it all culminates when the husband brings down their newborn child, because Brandy is pregnant and halfway through she has the child. So he brings down their child. Brandy is downstairs, it's the middle of the night, and the stepmother is locked in her front room. And there's bite marks on the baby's arm, okay? And he has the audacity to ask Brandy if she bit their child. What? Why? My sister is a new mother, and I'm just spitballing. Why on earth would a new mother bite their fucking child? I'm confused about why that was even considered in his mind. Anyway, she's quickly able to justify that there is teeth missing from these bite marks. And he's like, well, my stepmother can't make it upstairs. And Brandy's like, she's lying to you, whatever. So he confronts his stepmother, and she doesn't confess. But throughout the movie, she laughs like cynically at Brandy when the stepmother knows that she's being a bitch and like doing things that aren't nice. So she laughs in the husband's face. So the husband kind of then realizes that, oh, okay, she has been playing me this whole time. And she like throws up or spits on his face as well. It's really disrespectful. So that night, the old lady, the stepmother, is basically just like, why can't I die? Just kill me. Why can't I die? Why can't I die? Why can't I die? And then she wakes up the next morning. Brandy wakes up the next morning and she's dead. And we're like, okay. Then it just flash forwards to X amount of years later. They've moved into a new house. They're expecting twins. And Brandy's interviewing for a new job. And then it goes to the job interview. I don't even know what the interviewee asked, but we get a flashback to then realize that Brandy killed the stepmother. And that was like a twist, I guess, to show that Brandy isn't as pure as she... I don't even know what they were trying to say there, because I'm fully on Brandy's team. The stepmother was being a bitch. The stepmother was being awful. Like, she was being a cunt. Okay? That's all that happened in the movie. I think my biggest criticism on why I didn't really care for this film is that it really felt like nothing out of what was in the trailer happened. And I know that's a common critique in horror movies, or just movies in general, that trailers give away too much. But this trailer didn't have a lot in it. You don't learn that much information, but that is still all of the information that you gain pretty much throughout the movie. You learn more about the characters' backstories and like how they are as people, like their desires, wants, needs, whatever, but like nothing else happened. It felt very just empty from a plot standpoint. I don't know. It was very odd. And I think the reason that it felt so empty and barren and not great as a film is because I feel like the relationship between Brandy and the stepmother, and even the stepmother and her stepson, the husband, I think there's supposed to be a stronger rivalry and connection, and there really wasn't. I know this film is based off of a short story, and I don't know if that is from the source material or if it's the film adaptation that doesn't have a strong rivalry between them and strong tension. But nothing that happens between them is very groundbreaking. Like, the stepmother isn't blatantly disrespectful or evil until like 3/4 into the movie. Like, nothing really happens in the first 70% of the film. It's kind of just natural old parental abuse behavior in a sense. From an event and plot standpoint, not a lot happens. However, I will give the film props, because on the other side of that same leaf, the film does say a lot about generational trauma and parental trauma, and I guess even parts about like interracial relationships and like old generations and bringing in modern relationships and viewpoints. It has a lot more messages to say than it does plotline, and in my opinion, they can go more hand in hand. So that's why I felt a little bit like, okay, I get your message, but it's not interesting to watch your message. You have to engage your audience while also still getting your message across. That being said, though, I do think that the messages that this film does project, they are good. Like I said, it says a lot about generational trauma, because at the beginning, the husband is terrified to have his stepmother come live with them because of what she put him through back in the day. And we don't get flashbacks to it. It's just how he's reacting. We're like, oh, she really fucked him up. Like, he does not want her to live. He doesn't even go to his father when he knows his father is dying, because his father is technically alive at the beginning and then he dies quickly after that. He doesn't even go because he doesn't want to see them, because he was put through so much anguish. I think a big social commentary or issue that I don't even know if is like happening all the time now, but I hear a lot of younger people talking about when their parents get older and like how we're going to care for them. So I think it's interesting to see that almost play out in this film. Like, they don't want to take her in. They only do it for the money. but it's like she, as the stepmother, expects it. And it's like, my parents, I'm sure, would expect me to take care of them, and I would definitely take care of my parents because I don't have a bad relationship with them. But I'm sure that there are people that wouldn't want to do that, like in this case where they are abused and have trauma behind that. So almost seeing those generations and the trauma collide, because the stepmother is like, I'm paying for your fucking house. I'm helping you pay your bills. You're getting all of my money. All I'm asking is that I live with you. But then she says that she's changed, and she says that she's able to learn, and that doesn't last. She is faking it. She's being a bitch. She still is going back to her old ways, because you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And that is something that I've been taught since I was a kid. I do applaud the film on the themes and the subject matter that it does tackle. However, I don't think it does it very effectively, because it doesn't engage the audience that well. And I think it alludes to different things, especially knowing that this is labeled as a horror film. There is a little prayer group that the stepmother is in, and even the priest. And they come to visit the stepmother, and the baby, as soon as the baby is born, they're taking it from Brandy. And it was giving a little bit of Rosemary's Baby vibes, but nothing. That's a red herring, because really there's no demonic play. There's no ulterior motives. The stepmother is just a bitch. For some reason, the stepmother wants to be the mother of the house, which I don't understand that. I don't get it. I guess she just wants that control. Parents in that generation were very controlling of their kids. It's just her sticking to her old ways, and she wants control of her stepson and his wife's baby and their house. And yeah, I can't relate to that, because one, I'm gay, and two, I don't have kids, nor are my parents of that age where they need to live with me. But it was just kind of a miss, in my opinion. I feel like I was just kind of sitting there almost waiting for something drastic to happen. And the only drastic thing that happened that really was okay, we're getting somewhere, was the last scene when it showed the flashback of Brandy killing the stepmother. I get it. I understand, the trauma, and how it was more of a low-key story of, I feel like you could have done more. I would have done more. I would have done different things to engage. Like I said, there was a whole religious aspect to it, that it was she would speak in tongues. But then it was they made a big emphasis to show that the stepmother was so religious and she could fix anybody. And it was the Holy Spirit really works through her and she's a modern day miracle. We're just supposed to take that as fact. It doesn't have any ulterior motives. There's even hints of a weird not demonic presence, but there's hints at a supernatural, even if it is religious presence, because Brandy has visions and hears her praying in her sleep, and there's a connection to the cross and the baby when it's born. It cries when the cross and fish symbol isn't near it. There are aspects of it, but it's not real. It was in their heads. I don't know. It didn't make sense. That part didn't make sense. Yeah, don't see it. I'm not sorry, actually. Don't see it. Did you see the front room? Please, if I'm missing something, comment below, because I didn't like it. Make sure to comment, like I said, and subscribe for more. And yeah, bye.